So today we're gonna start by looking at maybe the index. Let me share my screen here.
Mhm.
Okay, so the Nasdaq did okay this week. It was a inside week. You can kind of see it. It didn't. Let me see. 12.24. Yeah, 12.224 and 12.205. It didn't make a new high and low 11.1898. 11.916. Okay, so this, yeah, so it's like it didn't make a new low either. So it's an inside week, which is not a bad thing because you can see, 2 weeks ago we have this strong up week, bounce off the 50-day, and then it's just kind of stick near the top of that range now, you know. So it's holding up, and this is Nasdaq, um, and you can see, right, we're not far from the high. 216, 12.269, 12.227. And we're getting close to that, 12.123. So, and this is a very tight trading range right now, so this is really good. So some people call this a cup with handle pattern, almost. So that could be a good sign, you know. Yeah. So that might be a good sign. Let me draw this cup. Okay. Any questions about this one?
No, sounds good. Uh,
Yeah. See, there's this cup, and then there's this nice handle here. So this is a bullish formation for the index.
mhm.
Yeah, I mean, that's like almost a picture perfect cup of handle. So if this bull market continues, like again, like will it stay at this range for a little bit longer? Possible. Will it wait till May 3rd when the Fed announcement to decide whether the market will take a more bullish stance and kind of break out of this range? Possible, right? So we're not far away. Like I mean, that's like less than 2 weeks away, right? So 2.5 weeks, May 3rd.
Mhm.
So that's like 13 more sessions. Will it break out earlier than that? I don't know. It really depends on the earnings, I think. Also, right? So if earnings starting to roll out the next 2 weeks, and we're gonna see lots of them roll out in the next 2 weeks, that's gonna determine where the market is gonna go. And right now, the market surprisingly, at least for Nasdaq, I think S&P too. Like I think S&P is stronger now. Um, it's been like look at this. Like it's pretty hard to see, but the green line is the 10-day. It's been holding that
Mhm.
10-day. Well, Wednesday it dropped below it right here. You can see it dropped below it, close below it. That day I was actually like worried a little bit, because of this move, because it reversed, right, and
Yeah.
it reversed and then closed at the low, and I'm pretty sure it broke all the lows, all the recent lows. So 12, this is 11.898, 11. Okay, it didn't. 11.916. So it didn't break that low. Okay, but it was close to it. And then Thursday we got this big bounce, and was because the producer price index was better than expected, right? I think it was actually negative. It was actually down versus like positive, which was expected. So market really liked that news. Um, yeah, like even the CPI, it was better, but the market didn't react to it on Wednesday. That's why I was like, oh man, this is not good, right? Because even though it was better, but the market still went down.
Yeah.
But then the market really lift off after the producer price index. So it's kind of like a little delay response there. But ultimately it was good. So yeah, excuse me. Let me just bring up one thing quickly here. My notes. Yeah. So yeah, CPI was up 5.2%. It's still pretty high, but it was down significantly from 6%. Core prices also are expected to be up 5.6, but it went down slightly to 5.5. So they were overall better than expected, but the market still went down on Wednesday. And then producer price index, like I said, was much better than expected on Thursday. So that's why the market took off that day. The problem though, like, you know, if I, yeah, let me see if I can find it here. I want to see the advanced decline line. Let me see if I can find it. Besides that, while I'm looking for this, do you have other questions?
No. So basically, I was also, to be honest, little confused when CPI was favorable, but market went down.
Yeah, exactly. So this one is RSP, and it's trading really tight. It's still trying to overcome this 50-day line right here. So this is the equal weight S&P. If we look at the regular S&P, that one is above, and that one's making new high. So it make new high Thursday, make new high Friday. So it's good. So S&P, like I said, is pretty strong right now. And it's you know, leaving above the 10-day line many sessions now, like, I don't know, 14, 15 sessions now. So that's really good. That's really actually bullish. But what I want to show you is the advanced decline line. Let me see. Let me find it. Let me see. This is NYSE. Okay, so this is NYSE advanced decline line, and you can see it's like trending upward, right? So this is really bullish. That's so in a way S&P is following that. Yeah, so S&P right here. Okay, and then we'll look at Nasdaq. So Nasdaq is the weakest one right now, like of the major index. So you can see in advanced decline line, like how many stocks are advancing versus declining. You can see it's not moving up much, and that's the sad story right now for some techs. Not as many tech stocks are moving up as it should. Now the index has moved up a lot, and the reason why is because, again, this is weighted by the market cap. So the large caps are doing better, and then the small caps. I have a diagram here. Let me show it. Kind of summarize this picture. It was on MarketSmith this week. Let me find it. What is it? Notes. Yeah. So here's the chart. So this is let me blow it up here. So this is from MarketSmith. The S&P 500 top heavy rally, right? Meaning like how much change in this year in market cap. And you look at the top 5 stocks based on market cap. This is how much it has gone up, like in $1 trillion, like 1.2 trillion. But you look at the next 15 stocks in S&P 500 by market cap, they have gone up this much. And then you look at the smaller, like the so remember
everything else.
Yeah, everything else. 480 stocks out of 500, it's only went up by this much. By by market cap, right? So it just tells you like the money is flowing into big cap stocks, like big time. You know, this is pretty crazy. So you can see it. The majority of the stock hasn't moved much, and that's the story to this day, like so far, and that's been happening this rally, and that's kind of scary. You know, we'll see if things change, right? As soon as earnings come out. If it doesn't change, I would be a little bit worried. Like I'd be worried about, you know, why is it not moving still? You know, I think the market is kind of favoring the big caps because they have huge cash flows and stuff. And you know, whereas the smaller companies or less bigger companies, they, you know, maybe have you know, less cash flow to, you know, I don't know. So I like, this is a like really big problem, I think. And yeah, and that's why a lot of growth stocks are, you know, they're younger companies, they're not big cap, and they're having a hard time going up, you know. So we'll see if earnings change that. That's very important. We'll know pretty soon whether they can prove themselves. Hey, they're making money more than ever, and the growth story is there, and market should take off. So, but they have to prove themselves, and everyone talking about the regional banks reporting this week. That's also like, so Friday was really good day, right? Like for the big banks, all of them are like beating their earnings and stuff, and so they did well, but still nothing is moving. That's the problem. You would think with news like that, but people are still worried about the contagion of the regional banks. So I think that's still holding grip on some of the growth stuff. Yeah, that's the part that's going on. We can take a look at Dow. Dow is also strong, I think. Dow is really strong, especially in the large caps too, I think. Why does this stock look like that? Let's see. That's weird. Let me go to Russell. I don't know why it looks like that. Yeah, something weird is happening. Okay, so Russell. Yeah, see, Russell is still, pretty bad. Let me look at the weekly chart just so it doesn't look so weird. So, like here's the bottom. We are now, like, this is the upper range. We now in the middle. The middle is like right here, which is the 200-day line. It's still below 250-day, and it's still struggling. If we look at, let's say, some of the banks and brokers, so this is Charles Schwab. Like, this is really scary. Like, if you go look at daily, why? Because look at this. The 10-day has become resistance. It couldn't go up above the 10-day. Like, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. And Friday it gave up. Look at that. There's something happening. Like, why is this not coming back? And this is not just, I don't know, there's probably many more. But this is not good. Like, let me look at the index for a second. Let's look at KRE, regional bank. So here's the group. Same thing, right? Look, 10-day, and look at Friday. It went above it, and boom, it closed at the bottom. So this is like someone's selling, man. Look at the volume here. Someone's selling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is telling a different story, completely different story than the major index. So this one similar. This is the bigger banks, KBE, and even those guys reversed on Friday. Right. So yeah, this is not good. Like I said, we'll see. Like, the earnings picture will clear probably because they will provide guidance too. So it will clear maybe some of the negative energy. But until that happens, we don't really know, right? So, it's kind of, everyone's trying to. I can't remember which analyst came out and say, "Oh, markets can correct 5% next week," because they don't believe the regional banks will do well. In fact, they'll bring the reality back to the front headline. So, yeah, I would be cautious of that because the market is acting really weird lately. Okay, so that's the indexes. We can, like, if you have, do you have any other question about indexes?
No, sounds good.
We can jump to growth stocks right away since we don't have much time. So growth stocks are like, it's fairly, restricted too, right? There's a few, like ELF is probably like doing really well. It's just this thing is a rock star. It's like, it just look how many sessions up? 6 sessions up, right? 6 sessions up, and on the weekly chart, we can see this upper channel line here. So it's still okay. It's not too extended yet. And then this is the lower channel line, which is the 50-day line. So it's still in a very good trajectory. So there I don't know, there was some news this week, can't remember. I think an analyst upgrade them to $100, I believe. So right now it's 90. So that's one stock that really stand out still. I added more position this week. I feel like I said last week, I said this is number 3 stock. So I decided to add more. TGLS, this is builder. This one, let me see. I think it's come back. Yeah, it was kind of pulled back here. Now it's starting to move back. So what I see a lot this week is some chart that looks like this. So last week, they all dropped because growth stock got hit hard last week. And this week, a lot of them came back up, but obviously they didn't come all the way back up. So that's the story I see in many growth stocks. But at least they hold the bottom. So that's to me is important. At least they hold, like this low right here, right? So this week was like a little bit of recovery, because this was a big range, right? This last week. So a lot of stocks look like that. So that's TGLS, SMCI. I think that's the same thing. There's a big down week last week, and then this week you see it kind of recover a little bit more than half. So it's almost identical chart. LSCC. Like it did this one make a slightly new low, I believe. Slightly. 80, 80, 80. Yeah, slightly new low. And then it bounced. Again, it didn't recover from last week yet. But at least it closed at the top. So it's like basically now they're all kind of stuck, right? Until let's see how the earnings go. So they're stuck right now. So Onan. So this one is like, this is really tight. Like, I mean, because you look at a weekly chart, because you have this big up week, and it's staying, like, it fell this flag here last week. It came back down, and then this week it also recovered. So same thing, right? So a bigger range last week, and somewhat of a recovery this week. So pretty much similar. So the theme continues, like, in terms of just some small recovery this week. Half of it, more than half usually. XPOC. Okay, so this one make a new high and close near the top. So again, this is very similar to ELF, like in terms of the trajectory, right? You draw an upper channel line, and then you draw a lower channel line. This is the trajectory is going right now. So it's looking pretty good. It's like, yeah. And then this week they close at the top. Melly. This one again, same thing. It didn't make a new high, but it recovered most of it. So that's like this one looks pretty good because it almost near the high again, right? So it won't take much for it to make new high. So Wing, okay. I got stopped out on Wing, but let's see where it's at. Okay, it's sitting pretty good. It's sitting near the 50-day. That's pretty good. Yeah. So okay. So first we see this cup of handle. Then we see this range here. This range right here, right? Then we make a new low here. So that's a pretty wide range. Now we see this range right here. This range and this range. So this is what Mark Mooney call like contracting. I can't remember. Yeah, contracting. And then we want to see if the volume contract here. There you go. Really so it's a volume contraction pattern. So you see the range smaller, and then you also see the volume, smaller. So this is a good sign. I would say. So Friday actually did well. Like, look at that. It actually make a new recent high. So might be time to get back in. I don't know. Like, I was in this, and then I got shaken out. So it might be a good one for watch list. So yeah, I should this purple or something blue, something to watch out. hell. CPR. So, okay, we'll look at CPRs for a second. Yeah, see, like, so this, a lot of health stocks have undergone a big correction. This is one of them. But these are superb fundamental stocks, and you can see from here. And now they're all climbing back on the right side. Okay, and it's pretty strong too. Most of them are going up really strong. So for health stocks, that's another story. At least for the growth ones, they're moving. So like they're starting to take the leadership, which is interesting because chips was taking the leadership. Now they have been pausing, and now we have this health growth stocks starting to take the leadership. And we can see a few of them. So this is one of them, and volume is coming in, right? So that's really good sign. And then there's two other ones that I own, LNTH, Lantheus, and again you see all these earnings. Look at this, right? Correction. Look at this bounce, right? Really, whoa! I didn't even notice it make a new high on like this week. Like that's huge. That's huge. So this guy is breaking out. Yeah. Like, you know, look at this, and it's really tight trading. This is phenomenal. Now Friday's breakout don't have much volume, so that's something to be aware of. But yeah, because you can see the week is not high volume either, but it did break out, and we also have this 1 week volume really high. This is probably the, you know, I don't remember where I bought it at, but it was probably around a few weeks ago. But this is a good breakout point right here because of, you see, highest volume right here, largest volume, and this is a breakout from a handle. So that's, you know, that's a really good sign. So we go back to daily charts right here, this day, right? So that, but you know, still it just, you know, this is a higher buy point now, but it's interesting the volume is not there. So that's something to be aware of. But it's again, these are super growth stock in the health sector, and this seems to be taking the leadership now. And you can see every week it just move up like slowly. The other one is Shockwave. I also own this one, and you can see superb fundamentals. And again, you can see this is like 6 weeks in a row, blue, meaning it's going up 6 weeks in a row. And this week, I think there was some news. They acquired some company or something. I can't remember what the company is, but again, this is like, look at the volume came in here, volume came in. So there's accumulation happening, and again, we're still far off from the highs here, but you know, but it's coming up, right? So so these are, like I said, some of these growth stocks in the health sector are starting to take on the leadership now. So those are really good. Yeah. Okay, Array, I got into it this week. I was in it before, but I got back into it. I was shaking it out before. And you can see, again, you know, there's a base here. It fell. You can see it fell. And then it even tried again, and it fell again. Now, you can see the base smaller, right? In terms of range. And also, you can see the volume is dwindling on the sell side. That was last week. Now this week the volume is also low though, on the buy side. So it's kind of wash there. But it did make a slight new high. This stock is definitely more volatile. It's a young stock, so do take that into consideration. But the fundamentals are phenomenal. Okay, so I decided to get into it because I feel like it's already tried like how many times? 1, 2, 3, you know? Like, that's a lot of times, you know? And usually, if it doesn't work out the 3 times, then yeah, then I'm sure everyone will give it up. But I feel like, you know, I gotta try one more time and see if it breaks out from here. Okay, so that's that one. PenW closed at weekly high. So this one also doing well. It was weak at the beginning of the week, I remember, but then it somehow came back. So now you see it's near not super high yet, but it's near the, you know, trying to aim for new high again, and it's just really strong uptrend, right? Like, you know, really strong. You know, superb fundamentals. Look at the weekly chart. Yeah, this whole week is green. Every single day. But every day it kind of, you know, tests your patience, like especially Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's but like I said, overall the chart is like really strong. It's like at a 45-degree angle, right? So you gotta have some patience in this one. Yeah, we're talking LNTH. So I think that was it. Or maybe I missed some because I had this filter on. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, Miniso. It wasn't doing that well, Miniso, this week. So it's kind of stuck. Now, even though it's stuck, like this Friday, it goes back down again. Unfortunately, I don't like. We'll see. Volume is really dwindled. You see, like this is really low volume now. Not one day above average. So maybe it's near the end. I don't know. But it's, you know, you have to understand this stock went up so much, and now it's forming its first base. Now this is the first base. You can see here. Marcus Smith identified stage 1. So, yeah, you know, after going up so much, you got it. I mean, $5 to $20, right? Look at this, $5 to $20. It's a big gain if anyone got into it. So it might digest for many more weeks. I don't know. That one will probably definitely take more patience. Inter, see this one. So this one is like very similar to ELF. This one is probably by far even stronger than ELF. Like this slope is almost like a 70-degree angle or 65-degree angle. Like this slope is crazy strong. And this week it didn't make new high, but it still traded like, you know, pretty tight, right? 3 weeks of tightness. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I never seen a small cap like this trade so tight ever. Like very hard to find a stock like, you know, a small cap that trade this tight. It's just so tight, it's trading. Like, you know, every time it drops, it just doesn't drop too much either. Like to me, this is like, it could be a superstar. And it's still really small. And, you know, okay, so that's, yeah. I think IBD was, yeah, did have an article about this recently. Yeah. So, maybe, I don't remember. Anyhow. Okay, so that's Inter. Let me see. So ALGM, I got, surprisingly, I got, it was funny because I thought I sell it by accident, but then it wasn't. Like on Friday at the end of the day, it actually hit a new low, and it closed at a new low, and I was like, did I sell it by accident? And it wasn't. It hit my stop loss, and then it was gone. So I'll see. Like right now, I'm gonna be a little bit more patient because this one looks different than all the other stocks. Because you see, most stocks recover, but this stock, it didn't recover this week. Instead, it closed at a new low, like I said. Very tiny, like I think only by like less than a dime, I think. And that's why I was like, oh, I didn't want to get shaken out. 44. It was really low, like 44, 42. Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, I got shaken out at the end of the day. But it's still holding above 50 days, you see that? So it's not, like I said, it's still a really strong stock in my opinion. But I'll just wait for it to make a new high. So I'll set a new alert here, 45.99. Okay. Like I don't mind buying back higher, like, but I'm not. But you know, because it didn't react as well this week. Like they usually work well together, but for some reason this one didn't. So I'm a little bit worried if there's some people selling because of another reason. So let's see. Okay, we talked about this. We did. Hold on, we talk about ANET. Okay, ANET. Yeah, let's talk about ANET. ANET. Yeah, same pattern. Inside week. You know, it didn't make a new low, which is good, and it kind of closed in the middle. 62% range. Okay, a little bit higher. So still very strong, still very liquid leader. Jim Ropel really liked this stock. It could be like besides Nvidia, he said this is the second most liquid tech stock, like in terms of growth. So yeah, look at how tight it's trading. Like you know, here's the thing. There's so many red days, right? Look at how many red days there are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many red days, but the stock gave up so little, right? Like this
Yeah.
is a strong run, and it gave up so little, and it's only touching the 21 day, and it's now holding the 21 day, and now by Friday it came back up above the 10 day, right? So I will add to this probably. This I didn't add to it last week, but I probably will add to it this week. We'll see. It's just so strong, like, you know, and even on these down days, it just like didn't give up much, which is really really impressive. And the volume is like going down. You see, like
Mm-hmm.
the volume is just like drying up. That's what they call it, and usually that's a good sign. Okay, so that's that one. So I like ANET. I'll make that blue. Probably want to add more. 4. Yeah, 4 is also kind of like LGM, close at the bottom of the range, not very good. Yeah, so this is a little bit. It didn't make a new low compared to like this low here, but still, it's still like, you know, not good. So it's yeah, well, it did bounce off. Well, I guess it did bounce off 50-day here, so that might be a good sign. We'll see. Like if it bounce above here on Monday, I think like this is you can see here actually, IBD draw ascending base is very rare actually. So ascending base are like, okay, so we have this uptrend, and then usually it will form a base. But what happened is that the stock is so strong, and it just keep making new highs even as it form a base. So it couldn't form a base like, you know, below the high, previous high. It's just so strong it make a new high. But every time it make a new high, it comes back down, but it never make a new low.
Mm-hmm.
And then right here it make a new high, and then now it make this low. So it's always a higher low,
Right.
and that's what we call ascending base. It's trying to correct, but it couldn't. It's just too strong. So we just, you know, so this is a very bullish pattern, and the 50-day has, you know, kind of starting to catch up. The 200-day is starting to turn. You see, it's starting to turn now. So these are all bullish signs. And again, same thing. This is like if you draw the trajectory, it's like this, and then you draw the trajectory, it's like this. Yeah. So now it's at the bottom of the range. It's good risk reward ratio, because it could go up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good sign. Like, I'm gonna add this to my list too. 4. I think that's it. Oh yeah, we already talked about Powder. So I think that's all the stocks I'm looking at. But there's so many other stocks. Like one thing I noticed, like even despite this week, like the market didn't really move much. But one thing that has happened is if I look at how many stocks in near the uptrend mode, it's like 240 now out of 466. So it has gone back up to more than half now. So I think it was even more yesterday, but it was like 280 or something. But today it went back down because of Friday when some stock went back down. So a lot, but a lot of them are near. It's still in the nice uptrend mode. Is what I'm saying. Yeah. Any stocks you want to look at?
No, I think pretty much we covered what I wanted to look at.
Yeah. I forgot.
Wait,
Rambus.
Rhombus.
Yeah, I forgot Rambus. Let's take a look. Rambus is really strong too. Jim Rappel likes it. Look at this weekly chart. Like this is like, oh man, this is so tight on the weekly chart. Like, look at this nice uptrend right here. Like, it does hit new high really fast and then it goes sideways. You can see that pattern. So I don't know. This might go sideways, 3, 4, 5 weeks and then move really fast. It seems to have that pattern, right? Like kind of, 1, 2 weeks jump and then go sideways 3, 4 weeks. Yeah. So, but it is on a nice uptrend. So that's that one.
Can we also look at Workday?
Workday, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this one, you rebound off the 50-day right here. Yeah, so that's a good sign. It didn't at least close at the bottom. So, and it probably did hold this support right here. Oh yeah, and 50-day now this is the second time. Okay, it's still below the 10-day. Yeah, if it passed the 10-day, might be a good sign because this is pretty tight to me. That's weird. But the one thing that's not good is the volume. But those 2 days are the rebound days, so maybe it's okay, right? So those 2 days, even though they were red, but they did rebound from the bottom, so that might be okay. So meaning like there's people selling, but there's also lots of people buying, right? So yeah, I mean it's a very tight stock. Like I'm surprised how tight it is for this stock. Yeah, it's pretty tight. And this one, it's again you can see the range is starting to be smaller and smaller. But yeah, I don't know if it will be a leader, but it probably does move up. It just I don't know if it will move fast enough. Yeah, it's hard to say right now. I think, but yeah, the market is not fully bullish yet. Maybe like I said, maybe 20% bullish of the stocks are bullish, like meaning like they can run. But majority of stocks, but I do see many stocks like building the right side of the base, right? Like the health sector, we see lots of them moving up on the right side of the base, like quietly, like you don't even realize. Like for example, like Shockwave, I'm shocked, like because like this week it just bounced like crazy. So like I didn't expect that, but it happened. So let's see what else in here that is what we have time to look at here. Like I don't know. Like let's look at Weatherford and TDW. Like I haven't looked at those in a while, but I think let's see. Those are oil and gas related. Yeah, see they're bouncing back. They form this base. So this is the first time they form a multi-week base. So they're coming back up. These are like strong growth stocks in the oil and gas sector. So this is okay. This one is fourth base now. This one is definitely strong since last year. It's been strong, but it's like again coming back on the right side. So superb fundamentals. So they're doing really well now. Like they're coming back up. So those are potential. Now I don't know how long they will last because they're oil gas related. Let me see. Let's look at some AI stocks. EVAI. Okay, this one is the small cap one. Okay, this one's coming back up. Looks pretty good. AI. Okay, this one doesn't look that good. It's like yeah, I don't know. At least right now it doesn't look good. So it's below 50-day. It looks like 50 days become resistance. But I think it just need more time because pretty much you make a new high, and some people make money, and now I think it's just gonna form a base for a while before it moves again. So it might take time. Yeah, let's look at Nvidia. Okay, so this is starting to like I don't like when 10 days start to curve down, like curve down in the sense that you can clearly see it's going down. But it's still holding up, near that range. So, because if it fell that range, it's gonna go to 50. So, so that's that. Tesla, it's gonna report Tesla right this week. It's gonna be interesting. It's below the 50-day. So it went from above the 50-day for a while, and then now it's like below it. So the earnings gonna tell what's gonna happen next, right? So. There's really not much you can do here. Just wait for the earnings and see. Like I think the forecast for sure is negative earnings, but I think people care about the margins, so they have to see. Cause did they show margins? I can't remember. I don't see it. Okay. Yeah. So. I think the margin is going to be the big determinant of whether they will continue or not. Like this is the weekly picture. So they're a critical line right here. See this line I draw? This is a very important line right here. So it's sitting right there. Last time it fell below this line, it went down really far. So hopefully, it won't do that. We'll see. Hard to say. Yeah. So let's look at some casino stocks and airline stocks and stuff. So Wynn Resort. Okay, so this guy, you see, is starting to build this base here. It's trying to hold on, which is quite impressive actually. So they might have more room, like, because it fell below it like many times now, but each time it comes back up, and even now it came back up. So, and time is the key, right? So now we're starting to, like, say, in the six week now of this phase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 weeks now. So, like this story might still continue. I don't know. So this is the base here, and then it could go like that again, right? So, yeah, this is interesting. So, and then there's I know AAL reported. This one didn't do well. DAL, it bounced a little bit, not that much. So airlines doesn't look as good actually. Yeah, they don't look as good. Let me go to my, what was the screen? Yeah. Maybe I didn't save it. Yeah, I didn't save it. Okay, let me go pull it up. Give me a sec. I just want to see what kind of stocks get accumulated this week. Yeah, is there any else you want to look at?
No, I think I'm good. We can, at the end, we can talk about macro a little bit.
Okay, I'll just pull out this report really quick. I just want to see if there's anything standing. Yeah, we can talk about macro right now while I put this up. So, we are 2.5 weeks less than the 2.5 weeks from Fed decision. Everyone expect a 1/4 point hike. I don't think that will change anymore, because a lot of the data already came out. The only other thing that might come before that day, I don't know when if the unemployment report will come out before that or after that. I'm not sure. But that could be a big one. So usually at the end of the month, right? So 28. So I don't know if it's going to announce 28 or the 5th. I don't know. So that could be another determinant. But the inflation data already come out. I don't think there's any big news next week. Because IBD also highlight there's no big news next week. Like nothing major. So it's all going to be earnings driven now. So that will be, so we'll see, right? So and I think like whatever stocks you own, it's always good to pay attention to the stock in that same category. That's something I want to pay more attention to, because it kind of does tell the story. Of course, not every company is the same, but usually some of the trends they say could be applied to in general. So we have home builder, housing starts. Beige book. Okay, so the beige book, the minutes book, will be released on Wednesday. Jobless claims, existing home sales. Yeah, I don't know how important this one is. It's S&P, their own service PMI and manufacturing PMI, because usually they use the other one, which was just released last week. So I don't think that will be too important. So like I said, there's not like so one thing about the jobless claim has been rising. So that really tells that, hey, maybe unemployment is really going to shoot up more, because it has been rising quite a few months now, 3 months I think. So even though not by much, but it is rising more than expected. So I think the inflation story is looking better and better, but people still want it to come down faster, right? So, and then we'll see what the Fed decision is. Yeah, but I do notice one thing, like if I go to QQQ, for example, if I look at 5-day chart, I notice like, yeah, like you can see, like this one goes up on the Monday, goes down on Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday was mostly down. Wednesday was mostly down. Thursday was the up day. And then Friday it closed in the middle. Okay, so I was hoping there was a pattern, but there's not really a pattern. It's really mixed picture, It's just all over the map. And that's what usually happens during earnings time. That's why the next 2 weeks, I would be less, little bit more cautious, just because it's going to be so volatile. Like the market is trying to determine which way to go, and then also depending on the sectors and stuff. So I would be like, only make bets when I know for sure, kind of thing. Yeah. Or continue on what you investing and look at those stocks. But there's like some stocks I like one stock I like a lot. I haven't got Booking. I really like Booking. You can see it come out of this base, has this up run. This is the first pullback, like big pullback, and it make a new high. Like this is what I'm talking about. This is like similar to the ascending base. Like it makes a high in really fast time, and then now it's again like I really like this pattern. And then you can see like the selling volume disappear right here. So yeah, this could be it's near new high. Like yeah, I really like this stock. So anyhow, this is one that I might add to my portfolio next week. So that's Booking in, let me see what number this is. 61. Okay. Yeah. Anyhow, coming back. So that's that, and then let me go run this chart report here again. Yeah. What else you want to look at? Anything else? Like anything you think about the macro that could change things? So look at biotechs. Like this week, like this one stock, I miss it. Like I haven't bought biotechs in a while now, just because they were quite like bearish before, and now they're all coming back. Look at new high, right? I think there was some news. I can't remember, but this stock jumped a lot this week. Yeah, see this 2-day run. Yeah, I was gonna buy this day, but then I didn't, and then the next day it shot out the moon, and now it has pulled back. So gives you a second chance. So I need to pay attention to this guy. So I need to find out more about this guy. Because there's something happening with this stock. It's probably, I didn't go read about it. I just knew it moves. That's all. Yeah, and this is perfect example of like it breaks out, and then it comes back to near the buy point. A lot of stocks do that. So that's why I said, especially in this kind of environment where it's not super bullish yet, it's some like kind of mildly bullish. Don't chase stocks. Let it come back to you if you miss it, and you will always have, the 10 days is always like the key. It will somehow come back to this 10 days. So you want to buy near the 10 days, the key. So that one is pretty strong. We have Cribs. Yeah, there's lots of names here. Let me see what else. Broker. So medical system equipment also really strong. Like Shockwave is in that group. IMD. Let's see. I don't remember. Yeah, it's okay. It's not that strong. Okay, so then we have mining. Again, I wish I had more in this. I don't. Like, some of the ones that Jim Ropel owns, AGI, this guy is like going up like crazy. Look at this Friday. Look at this.
Wow.
Like every single time, it just doesn't want to go down. Look at how it closed. Look at that. Like I would add, like if I might even add to this. This is so strong. Like, let me set a buy point here. This is crazy. Like I don't know like what's happening with gold, but it's just so strong. Like I don't even understand. 1547. But the stocks are going faster than the gold price, right? At least some of them. So there's this one. There's Kinross maybe. Yeah, similar. That's another one. I think another one was crap, I don't know if I remember. WMP. Oh, WPM. Yeah, this one. Precious metals. Yeah, pretty strong. So gold is really strong. At least some of this gold stock or precious metal stock. Oil and gas, some of them bouncing back. Credit card, investment management. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about this one. IBKR. It's starting to move back up. Look at this. Quietly, very quietly, and volume rising. See that? That's interesting. When it was selling, volume was decreasing. See that? It's like, and now it's like way off the lows, and now like this 50 days still trending upward, 200 days still trending upward. This could be, I really liked this stock before, so let's see. Maybe this time it will actually work and go much further. I still own it. Yeah. So let's see. So that one is slowly coming back. So there's some leisure products. Those are really small cap. I think ASO is what lots of people usually talk about. Yeah, it's pretty, it's not, it's a nice uptrend, but it's not like super fast, but hey, it's moving a little bit. Let me see. It's commercial service leasing, banks, foreign, money center. So like banks, right? Big banks, consumer loans, service specialty. So yeah, like the Bitcoin stocks are like going nuts.
Yeah.
So I missed this. I wasn't even following it. Look at that run. Holy cow. HUT. Look at this. It's making new recent high. They're all coming back. I mean, like we'll see, right? Bitcoin might keep going. Like everyone like so shocked that it's at near 30,000, and not even on any big news or anything. So just pure supply and demand. Computer special enterprise. This name keep coming out. I want to take a look. DSGX. Okay, starting to build momentum. Look at that. It's starting. It's definitely in moving up now. In the stage 2 type thing. So yeah, I might have to take a closer look at this one. DSGX. VMware, database, security, shoes, yeah, so consumer. Okay, ELF, we're talking about ELF here. Leisure, movies related. It's quite, you see what I'm trying to show, like one thing I realize is quite diversified now. So, the one thing that hasn't really shoot up is still the financials. There's a couple here. Actually, there's more now. Interesting. There's like more groups coming up. Huh. So it's starting to be more, and that's why S&P is the strongest index right now. I mean, Dow is probably strong too. Can't remember. Let me look at Dow. Yeah, Dow is okay. It's not near the new high, but S&P is closer. Yeah, S&P is much closer. So if this break to new high, that's a strong signal, right? So that's the key, and that's in order for S&P to do that. Like even though I show you that diagram where majority of the gains are from the large cap, but imagine the small and medium cap also start to run. Now we're talking, right? Now we could see the whole index like just make new high, and once this make new high, I think a lot of people will jump in, because no one trusts this. No one knows for sure this is the bottom in October, but if it does make a high here, a higher high, see, higher high, no, sorry, let me draw this again. Low, higher low, slightly higher low. Now we need to see higher high, and higher high. If we see another higher high, I think more people will be confident, right, to get back in. So that's the trick, man. That's where we at. We're pretty close. That's why I feel like and even this, like it's a nice cup and handle pattern. It already broke out. It already broke out Thursday, and then actually Thursday IBD call it a a follow-through day, meaning another follow-through day, because the volume was slightly higher, at least on Nasdaq. I don't know about S&P. I can't tell. It's so close. But on Nasdaq, they call it a follow-through day, and you know, even though it didn't make new high, but it's still a good day. Like it's really good day. So that's a good sign to me. Like you know, so here you go. You might see it clearly here. It's a higher volume, and so you know, it hasn't like completely make new high, but it just make you know a big gain that day. And so yeah, this one is not far either. Pretty close. So those two things, so S&P and Nasdaq will probably act together, and that's the key. If they can break to new high, that will be a higher high, and that will be 3 times now higher highs, right? And that will give a lot of people more confidence. And I'm surprised the last 2 weeks, like there's a lot. Oh yeah, there's another stat, but I didn't put it down. The stat shows that AII investors intelligence survey shows that there were a lot of bearish people, like almost near, like quite bearish. So yeah, let me look at some of those indicators. So let's see. Let's look at the one that we always look at, MCB here, Fear Grid Index. Let's see how this looks. Okay, starting to get more bullish. So this one is more bullish than the AII. I don't know why. But the AII was like more like slightly more like if it's on this chart it'd be like slightly between neutral and fear. So slightly towards bearish, whereas this one is slightly more towards bullish, right? So but this one has more is more strictly based on like more technical indicators, whereas that one is strictly based on what people are saying, right? So that one has a more tone towards human behavior. This one has to do with more like the actions. You can see like here, put call ratio has dropped quite a lot, but doesn't mean it's not bullish. It can continue to be bullish. What's this one? Wix also dropped. Same thing. If Wix drop lower, doesn't mean it has to turn bearish right away. It can stay there for a long time. This one is safe haven demand and yield spread. Okay. Yeah, let me see. I think I have some sentiment stuff here. Is it Wix? Okay, so there's Wix. Volatility index. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember where they are. But anyhow, it's yeah. So anyhow, like the long story is, we need to see this breakout, which is not far. Like that's why I said we have one strong week and then 2 weeks that are closing near the top. That to me is bullish, right? If I go back to SMCI for a second, because this is my number one stock, I monitor, like I really believe in this leading the market. So you see this, right? It's not far from a high. It's been holding up. Like I know it corrected a little bit, but it's been between 100 and like it came down to 100 many times now. So it's been tested many times now, right? And so so let's draw the 100 line here. Let's draw it because I want to show you. So here's the 100 line right here. And you can see how many times it tested 100. It goes, even when it breaks out, it comes back to 100. Look at this, how many times it touches it. And then even this, the week before, it dropped below it, and then boom, it came back up. And now, this last week, it didn't want to come back to 100 no more. So we are at this pendant right here, right? And so it can break out this way, right? Or it could go down this way. Right now it's leaning towards the upper end, right? So that's what I'm kind of watching there. And if it breaks out, on this trend line right here, I think it'll be bullish, because there's so much sell. Like I think there's some selling. Like this one is, again, this is the highest volume day, but look at where it closed, right? It's not at the bottom. So there's also lots of people buying on that day. So there you go. And right now it's actually, closer to the upper range than the lower range. So that's good. We'll see. But like I said, it's following the, like, I don't know if it's leading the market or following the market, but they're kind of in sync right now. So I think when market makes a new high, I hope this stock will make a new high. So vice versa. If SMCI make a new high, I hope the market will make a new high. And let's see, right? And then when we look at ANET, very close to. It's like so tight. Look at this, how tight this is. Like, this is really, really tight. And this is, big cap, right? So it's liquid and institute. Like, so one thing like people pointing out is this, right? This broke out. Like, it's now clear that, this is in the second stage. So yeah, when you're in second stage, and if this is a true bull market, we let it ride. We don't want to touch it. Let it ride. That's the key message here. And then we'll see where it goes. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man.